The big fundraising event that I look forward to every year is drawing closer, and I'm getting really excited. I made blueberry muffins for the volunteers who come out to help out during the event, and I'm chilling my turkey and trimmings pinwheels. They're delicious for me to snack on. And now I'm working on my squash and cheddar souffles. The whole event is going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm making these squash cheddar souffles because I want to offer a vegetarian option through the evening. And I'm roasting a butternut squash. To roast it, I pierce the skin with a fork, and I have the whole squash cut in half with the open side down. I'll pop this in the oven and cook it until it's tender. It'll yield easily when I press it with a fork or a paring knife. And while the squash is roasting, I have to make the sauce that combines with the squash to make the souffle. It's essentially a bechamel sauce, which is a basic French white sauce. I make a roux, which is equal parts of butter and flour. It's important to cook the flour for a few minutes, to toast it a little bit and cook it into the butter so that it really has a full thickening power when I add the milk. I do have a moment, so I'll grab my milk and cheese. There we go. Now I'll switch back to the spoon. The bechamel is just below a simmer, and the flour has gone to work and thickened up that milk just nicely. So now I can add the cheese. In essence, this is a thicker version of a macaroni and cheese sauce. Homemade, of course. The cheddar cheese is just melted into the sauce. I'll let this cool a little bit while my squash finishes roasting. Then I can finish the souffles. And now to add the squash to my souffle base. A splash of maple syrup and a little chopped fresh thyme. A pinch of nutmeg, and I'll give it a little taste before I add the eggs to see if it needs salt and pepper. It's fine on the salt. The cheese adds enough salt, but I will add just a touch of pepper. And now to create the souffle, I have to separate 3 eggs. I'll keep the whites for whipping and stir in the yolks. I've whipped my 3 egg whites to a medium peak, and you can see they have a nice sort of little curl to the top of them. That's how I know they're a medium peak. A soft curl hangs a little lower, and a stiff peak stands straight up. These are ready to be folded in to my squash cheese mixture. And I'll do that in 2 additions. And I'll fold gently but quickly, pulling from the bottom. There we go. Last few whites folded in there. I've greased my muffin tin, but I also need to flour it so that those souffling eggs in the oven have something to cling on to. Ready to fill. And these take 15 to 18 minutes to bake in a hot oven, 400 degrees. love the look of these souffles, that punchy orange squash cheddar color. I want to top each as a garnish with an oven roasted tomato. So I've got grape tomatoes here, I've cut in half. And I like to oven roast tomatoes, kind of like roasting the squash, to concentrate the flavors. The moisture evaporates and it's like a little tomato candy on top of each souffle. Just a little olive oil on them. Touch of salt and pepper. These oven roasted tomatoes are also fabulous in pasta dishes, in a risotto, or even just on their own, sprinkled over a salad. And the last thing to promote the sweetness just a little bit is just a light sprinkle of sugar on top. The tomatoes I do in a very low temperature oven, about 225, and they take their time until they're reduced without coloring at all. I don't want them to brown, I want them to stay nice and red. I've got all my components ready. I'll give these a final taste. The girls at the store are doing the big batches, and soon enough it'll be time to pack up and hit the road.